Are you going back to where you were?
You screw this on the bottom of your camera and then you put it in here. Yeah, so you probably have. Well, that'd be good if you're heavier in a week time. And maybe if you get you get a weekend day off, or
Yeah, something like that. No, I worked every Saturday.
Oh, I gotta try to roll it. Yeah, 2003. I worked 2 years at UPS, and then and I realized my blood wasn't brown. So are you taping?
Yes, I am. So would you say you're happy with where your life has gotten you? Or would you change anything?
I've certainly have a lot of experiences that I wouldn't give up. It definitely hasn't been financially as rewarding as it could have been if I chose another route. And I certainly had the ability and education to pick another route, but I chose farming, and for that I don't regret it, but you know, it's certainly, you know, that is one of the sacrifices. I mean, there's a lot more higher paying jobs out there with more free time, but at the same time there's a lot of experiences I never would have gone through. From simple things, you know, when I worked here I was, you know, managing a crew, and you know, it's nice to interact with the people and have those people come back in 10 or 15 years and, you know, and express their appreciation of how things went and how back then when they were young it actually steered them in the right direction, and they're very thankful. So stuff like that probably wouldn't have got had I chose another route, but you know, it's definitely a dying way of life because of a lot of the factors, because of the initial investment. People aren't willing to sacrifice the time, and there's just so much risk involved.
What do you do in your free time when you're not farming?
I like being outdoors. I like photography. I do have some classic cars that I would like to eventually get on the road. It would just be nice to get one of them done and just go out for some nice cruises. I still like the outdoors and you know, wildlife and photography. I like to tie it all together.
You're a nature man. Farmer Clark is a nature man. I'm like this girl right here. It's the complete
Yeah.
opposite. You can say
All right.
anything you want. Oh, oh, oh! Can you get that? Can
That's
you
a
get
coyote.
That? I
Coyote.
got it. I got it.
Coyote.
What is it?
Coyote.
Let me see.
Yeah. That's actually a healthy one too. Probably going up. All right. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, and just make sure you talk loud enough.
All right. Hello, my name is Richard Clark. I'm 50 years old and sitting on the property of the former Clark's Farm. I was born in Manchester, lived on this property my entire life, and my dream was to run this farm. Unfortunately, a few kinks along the way and some business decisions and other things led to the selling of the farm. Basically, when I was about able to walk, I started working on the farm, and farming's not for everybody. It has to be in your blood. There's a lot of sacrifice. Even through my grammar school years, the only sport I could play was basketball because it was a winter sport, and anything to do in the summertime, I was expected to come home from school, do my work, and then do homework when it got dark. Work through the weekend, 7 days a week. And then into high school, same thing. I was able to play some basketball, but farm always took precedence, and as a result, you know, there was a lot of sacrifice.
What's your favorite childhood memory on the farm? Take your time. Because I can edit all this.
As busy as we were during the working months, we always found a way to just mix in some fun. We used to have water fights after hours with some of the workers would hide pails of water, and that was always fun. And we used to have during lunchtime raft fights out to the pond, and you know, our hour-long lunch break sometimes maybe went over about 5 or 10 minutes, but it was well worth it. It was good for the crew, and it was a good cool down.
When your farm was going, how many employees did you have?
We had about 35 acres of sweet corn. We probably had 55 acres of vegetables in all. 4 full-time employees, and then probably 10 or 15 other employees, some adults and a fair amount of high school help. That is one of the biggest problems with farming today is finding help. It's not easy work. You just can't pick the sunny days or the good days. You're out working rain or shine, warm or cold, and a lot of people just won't do it today. They expect to get paid a lot more than a farmer can usually afford.
Do you think this is a good career to get into?
Like I say, it's not for everybody. Unfortunately, there's a lot of handicaps if someone wanted to just get into farming. Your biggest investment is land, and a lot of people are selling land at house lot prices, and basically that would stop most people from ever even being able to buy enough land to farm, and then you have your equipment. So if you're not on a farm right now and somehow able to work your way into ownership or running it, it's very hard. You know, there's a huge gamble with farming. You can put in your planting, your growing, grow the whole crop, and then you can have a bad stretch of weather that could wipe it out. Yes, there is insurance, but a lot of the insurance is so expensive, not many farmers do go down that road.
Can you take us through a day?
A day.
Farmer Clark?
Say a typical, I'll just pick a day during the planting season. You know, day usually starts at anywhere from 6 to 7. Sometimes in the summer months, the day can start at 4:30. Basically, you would, if you were planting, you would go out and prepare a field. Between fertilizing the field, then you would till in the fertilizer, change, either tractors, piece of equipment, whatever, put the planter on the tractor, get your seed, go and plant whatever you're planting, usually more than one variety. Taking records of what you do, because if you don't have good record keeping, then a lot of what you do is a waste of time. And then break for lunch at some point, and then usually it's noontime. Some farms it's 1 o'clock. Then if you're just doing your planting in the morning, then there'd be more field work. Everything's sort of, you can have stretches where you do a lot of something for like a month and a half at a time, but there is a lot of variety. Planting season, you're doing a lot of planting, doing a lot of field preparation, fertilizing, and then picking. There's obviously a lot of picking. You may be picking, a variety of crops. When strawberry season starts, usually the strawberries are picked from 6 a.m. till noontime, because you really don't like to pick the berries when it gets hot. Leaves fingerprints on them and everything else. And then in the afternoon, there'll be other vegetables getting picked, or if a farm has irrigation, then you'll be irrigating the crops, stuff like that.
So would you say you work harder now, or when the farm was going?
I currently work for another farm, and working for your own farm definitely involves a lot more work, longer days. It was a typical 6 o'clock till 9 or 10 o'clock, 7 days a week was a norm back then. Now it's either 6 or 7 till 5 or 5:30. Occasionally a late day, but only 6 days a week. Much less stress in the fact that you don't feel as financially bound. There's so much risk involved, but it's still not easy days. It's probably a 60, 70-hour week, but I used to average 90 or 100 hours a week.
So would you rather be doing what you're doing now, or go back to?
There is a lot of self-gratification running the farm that you are either ownership of or much closer to. But there's also less free time and definitely more sacrifice. For a younger person, I'd say I liked it when I was younger and I was here. Wanting to do other things later on in life, and just in general, it's nice that I have a little bit more relaxed week. That being said, I actually still grow pumpkins on the side as a second form of income, so I really didn't get out of farming. So
do you have family?
Yes, I have my wife Cynthia, and I have a daughter Lauren, who's a junior in college, and a son Brandon, who's a freshman in college.
Did they used to help out on the farm?
Just a little bit. When I had my second form of income, I actually sold vegetables out of the old stand, and Lauren was cashier in that. I tried to, realizing the sacrifice I made through growing up, I tried to avoid asking, making my kids sacrifice their activities to, enjoy their younger years.
What about your wife? Does she support you in your farming?
She supports me, but farming is, any family business is very stressful, and I saw what my parents went through. I saw what many other families, just the amount of stress, so I didn't expect, I didn't rely on it, knowing that it's just way too much stress.
So did you make it more of a family business or more of a business for yourself? I guess you could say it was family business, right?
No, it never got.
Like, was it ever like a real family business?
No, 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 no.